Hi, and thanks for tuning into Girl Talk here on your CW57. We have a great show for you today, as always.
We do.
Do we ever not?
I know.
I love it.
I know.
We always say that anyways, whether you believe it or not, yet to be seen.
We're clearly coming into fall by all of our colors and my ginormous poncho. But we've got a great show. We've got Orangetheory Fitness, Adrian Lee. He's going to talk a little bit about how to stay on track.
Yeah, we got to talk fitness, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a big topic as
Big
clothes
one.
change.
I can feel it already. I can feel myself slowing down and just like not being
Nobody
as
would ever
motivated.
know what size you were under that poncho. At least.
Well, maybe
tell
that's
everyone,
why.
tell everyone that you're thin as ever, and we'll believe you.
I'm just like I'm wrapping it until
Right.
the
It's under
final
wraps.
reveal.
In March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
This is a good time to talk about fitness, though, because I heard a statistic. Don't ask me what it is. Janet will probably fill in the blank. But that between Halloween and New Year's is the biggest gaining time of the year because of all the treats and goodies and food and
Halloween candy, Thanksgiving pies, and turkey,
the
and
entertaining,
carbs,
the
and
drinking,
entertaining.
all of that.
I believe that. Absolutely. And then you'd have Valentine's Day just as a little kick to make
I know.
sure.
Sure.
And right after your New Year's resolution wears off, you swore you'd be good all year, and then Valentine's comes around to give you
And
a
then we
kick.
remember we've got spring break and then summer not far after that, and then we're like, okay, wake up call.
Panic
Let's-
time.
I know, and then it's too late.
Yeah.
So
It's too late.
Adrian's gonna keep us in check.
Now that you're depressed, thanks for staying with us if you didn't turn the channel.
We also have Tim O'Brien from Apple Wellness, our favorite,
Go-to guy.
guru almost. You were just in there?
I was, yeah. I went in to talk to him about probiotics. It's not something I had taken before.
Yeah.
You know, he said, I've asked him, if you could only recommend one thing that kind of would suit everyone, his top pick would be curcumin. And we've talked about that
and
before.
now
Many times.
I'm a curcumin fan.
Yeah. And so I also started that as well. And then, so I went and said, okay, what would be the number 2 thing that would really suit kind of everybody, not knowing everyone's issues or deficiencies? And he said probiotics, without a doubt.
Yeah, and even from a young age, I think is important. We'll have to ask him about that later. But my understanding is really there's never a time that is too young to be started on probiotics.
Yeah,
so
sure.
kind of interesting. And he's got a new baby too, so I wonder.
And with the cold and flu season coming, probiotics can improve your immune system. So who doesn't want to try to nip that bit in the bud before we get a cold? But what was cool is he knows that I'm kind of on a budget and looking at that when I'm trying to decide. And boy, you can get the Cadillac version or the bare bones version. And he matches Amazon's pricing. Now, I didn't even bring that up. And he said, I think this one's a good one for you. And he goes, it's a little bit, expensive. And then he went and said, let's go see what it is on Amazon.
No kidding.
He went to
Really?
Amazon.
So
I
nice.
just love him. I feel
Yeah.
so fortunate that we've been able to pick his
yeah.
brain and meet him, and he's such a great guy on many levels. We also have Joe Conant, who's going to talk to us about snow tires because it is that time of the season, and I know I need some.
Snow tires.
prevention.
Are you
Yeah.
ready to think about snow? No, we know the answer's
Not
no,
yet.
but you need to.
La la la.
Almost like get it over with.
They're a
Okay, well,
lifesaver.
please stay tuned. We'll be back with more Girl Talk right after this break.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. I just read recently that California, University of Berkeley, said that there's 29,000 supplements on the market. Some say as high as 54,000 supplements on the market. Not one is regulated by the FDA. So with us today, we have our guest from Apple Wellness, Tim O'Brien. He's going to help us understand that and what that means for us. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Always nice to have you.
So that's a lot of stuff out there, and the fact that none of it is regulated by the FDA is a little unnerving. What do we do? What do we look for? What does that mean?
Yeah, great question and great concern. I mean, you could literally be a guy in your garage making sawdust capsules and throwing something on the label and start to try to sell it places.
Oh, wow.
And if nobody actually
That's
tests
terrifying.
that, then you're in trouble. Also, though, I mean, keep in mind, an orange is not regulated. I heard from Dr. Whitaker, who managed some of our food control into the country, that only some 2% of our food that comes into our country is actually overlooked and checked for purity, quality, etc., to go to our grocery marts. So our food, our supplements, yeah, they're not FDA regulated, they're not checked over. And so you want to work with companies that have certificate of analyses on every single product that they sell, pharmaceutical grade, to prove to you and me that it is what they say it is, that it's pure.
Is that the little USP symbol we're supposed to look for?
USP is one grade. Pharmaceutical grade is higher. There's GMP grade, a number of different certificates. But
So what does that mean? Are we looking for something on the label, or?
yeah, so if you can see something that says pharmaceutical grade, sometimes though you actually need to look on the companies and say, hey, what are their certifications? Because even a
Do a
company
little
can be
bit of a
honest.
background check.
Yeah, just check into it a little bit, because often even a company might be honest, but who they're buying from over in
Oh,
China
absolutely.
or whomever could
That's
be
a good
shady.
point.
It's kind of a,
yeah.
there's kind of a trail you have to follow to
Yeah,
get to the actual answer. And
exactly.
I think that that's a really good point, is that, you know, just because it isn't FDA regulated doesn't make it bad. Just like an orange, it's wonderful for you, you know, and that's
Yep.
not FDA regulated. But it just means that you need to be like a conscious consumer and be looking
Exactly.
into what you're getting.
Yeah, so that's part of my job as the owner of Apple Wellness is, hey, the companies that we're searching out, are they proving to you and me that they are what they say they are?
So if you don't want to do your homework, this guy's done it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thinking that.
You do the legwork, and then we just have to come in, and you'd said before you've even brought some of your own things and say, hey, what do you think about what I'm using? What might you suggest? And you really like to be a resource for
Yeah,
folks.
it's just fun for me to do
Yeah.
all this. It's my life, and a lot of folks don't have time to do
Right.
50 hours of research on each thing, you know,
Right.
and figure it out. So,
Come to you.
yeah, yeah,
So also, I've been hearing probiotics everywhere.
Constantly,
Radio,
yeah.
TV.
Yep, out of Europe clinicals. Yeah,
Tell me about them. What are they good for? What do they do? Help me
Yeah,
out.
It's total hot spot right now. Pro means for, biotic means life. So the more life we get into us on a daily basis, the better, and you're going to be set up for success as far as your enzyme production, vitamin production. 80% of your immune system is controlled by your gut flora. They call it the second brain because it controls so many actions and reactions in the body. And your good and bad bacteria are always in a race. So whichever one's winning decides the state and health of the rest of your body. And in this day and age, this culture, we've never been more inundated with things that kill life in our bodies, from toxins, free radical damage, oxidative
Even like an
stress.
antibiotic, and that's something
Huge,
I had
yeah.
noticed recently. I was on a heavy course of antibiotics, and I was just feeling super off. You know, nothing I was eating was working with me, but it's like you said, it's pro and anti. So you're an antibiotic does the opposite. So you really need to replace that and get on a probiotic regimen.
Yeah, antibiotic literally means against life. Yeah.
So it can help you, but you got to be on top of
Yeah,
that.
it can
and
save a life sometimes, absolutely. Yeah,
So
it hurts you.
I heard you say that it helps your body produce more enzymes, more vitamins, and
Yeah.
improves your immunity. So I'm thinking winter and colds and sickness.
Yes.
So this is a good time if you've been thinking about probiotics maybe to start.
Absolutely.
And we're not talking just yogurt. We've talked about this before, that having a yogurt a day is not even close to
What you need.
what you need. Is
Yeah,
that
yep.
right?
It might be 100 years ago. It was a whole different day and age. The food was different, etc. But in this day and age, yeah, you need more life going into your system because of all that we have against us. So a cup of yogurt may have 1 billion multiflora in it. Well, a good
Sounds like a
probiotic
lot.
capsule, yeah, a billion has about 50 billion. So it'd be
Right.
like gallons of yogurt. We talked about just
Yeah.
chugging a gallon. Yeah, I think we got to do that.
Alrighty. Well, we're out of time, but those were two really important things to talk about.
God,
Appreciate
appreciate on that.
Absolutely.
Always appreciate your help and your
Yeah,
information. Thanks,
love it.
Tim.
Absolutely.
So check out Tim. He's over at Apple Wellness. That's over in the Fitchburg area by Super Target. We'll be right back with Madison Geeks answering your technology questions.
Good job, guys.
Welcome back to Girl Talk, everyone. We've been talking a little bit about it. It's fall, and it's here, and we can't escape that fact anymore. And here we all are, all dressed in our fall outfits.
Yes.
And
We told Adrian to wear a dress today, but he didn't
get the
Dress
memo.
and stuff.
Next time.
He's here to help talk about something else that's really, really relevant when fall comes around. Staying active, and
Yes.
how to keep active and keep fit, even when it gets a little colder and we all kind of retreat to the indoors. So you're from Orangetheory. You're a head trainer. You're a head trainer there. So let's talk about, what you can do at Orangetheory Fitness that's like so different than an ordinary workout to help keep us fit.
Okay, so at Orangetheory Fitness, we call ourselves group personal trainers. So basically you're getting the training from what you would get from a personal trainer, but in a group setting. And there's a lot of advantages to that. First of all, the atmosphere is very motivating because you have people next to you working really hard too, but you also have that coach giving you that individual one-on-one attention the entire time.
Right.
So I think it's a really cool way of doing it. We have members who are really excited for each other, give each other high fives, and just cheer each other on, and it's a lot of fun.
Lots of camaraderie
Very
there.
motivating,
Yeah,
exactly.
like a little synergistic kind of experience.
Exactly.
High-fiving each other.
I
The
love
energy
it.
at Orangetheory is really great. And I was saying before we started, but I mean it, and I think it's a good compliment when somebody compliments you when you're not there. But a lot of people that I know have been working out at Orangetheory and had some just really great experiences and find it very motivating and energizing. And Adrian has been with us a couple times now. This is your second time on?
Second time,
yeah.
yes.
Okay, so you're like a regular now.
Yeah, pretty much.
But let's talk a little bit about, so as we kind of go into the holidays, and speaking to women too, of course, Girl Talk, about building lean muscle mass. So as we're kind of trying to trim down and building lean muscle mass, what's the best way to go about that? Because we're always worried about bulking up.
Yes, of course. So the best way to go about that is to incorporate endurance type of workout, which is what we do, along with some strength training, some endurance, or some power and some strength workouts too. So we will actually do half of our workouts on like treadmills and rowers and some more of the cardio equipment that you would normally use, but we will also incorporate weights. And as far as leaning down goes, not a lot of people realize this, but that lean muscle tissue will actually help you burn fat. So it actually helps you to lean down when you do build up
Isn't
that lean
that
muscle
crazy?
mass.
I've heard it's 50 extra calories in like an hour per
Exactly.
pound of muscle mass.
So the more
Exactly,
muscle you
yeah.
have, the more snacks you can eat.
Exactly.
Moral of the story.
Right.
If that's what makes you get in there and do it,
Everything
well,
in moderation. Yeah, yes.
I love the idea of the group too, because there's something to be said about knowing that there are familiar faces waiting for you to show up, or noticing that you didn't show up one day.
Exactly,
So
yes.
there's great value in that group atmosphere. So as Lauren was saying, as winter comes, we tend to retreat and we're not as active as usual. What's your solution to that?
So my biggest thing with the colder months is a lot of people are active during the summer, especially in Wisconsin. They're out running by the terrace or something like that, jogging around. But then when the cold season comes around, it gets harder to be motivated to go outdoors and do your exercises.
It's dark, it's cold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will turn to studios and other things that are indoors. And one way that we really like to help, especially like our running population, stuff like that, is that we do incorporate the treadmill, and we do a lot of speed work that you might not normally do if you're just jogging outside. So I think it is a really good option, especially during the cold months, to come in, keep staying fit, don't lose all the progress you made all summer, so that way when spring comes around again, you're ready to go.
It's always easier to maintain than to
God.
fall off that
Exactly.
wagon.
Pick yourself back up.
So
and
hard to
restart.
lose weight or get back into shape.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
especially with a studio like Orangetheory Fitness, where there's just such a high level of energy, that's going to really help combat those kind of like dark, dreary days.
absolutely.
I think that's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Do you have any other kind of fitness tips as we go into not only fall and winter, but the holiday season too?
Yes, the holiday season can be tough, and it's because you're meeting with your family, you're eating a lot of good food and stuff like that. My biggest thing is being realistic. You want to do everything in moderation. So I'm kind of a big proponent of the cheat meal every once in a while. And I think during
love
the
this
holiday
idea.
season, as long as you're being like really good with your diet and everything else, you can let yourself go on Christmas Day when you have your family around and you have those pies and everything else. But up to that, you really want to stay key on that diet and stay key with your fitness.
And I think that's great too, because when you have it in your head that, hey, I'm gonna let myself enjoy this Christmas meal, I'm gonna eat, whatever I want, whether it be pumpkin pie or mashed potatoes, but just stay healthy, all the weeks leading up to that, so that you don't feel guilty.
Exactly.
You can feel good about it when you actually go ahead and
some
do
of
have
those
that cheat
treats too are once a year treats.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
So
you gotta enjoy it too, but
Can we have a few
responsibly.
cheat days like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas? There's a few in there that I really want.
Stagger them here.
We're out of time,
As long as
Adrian.
they're spread out. Okay.
So,
that's
but
fine.
before we let you go, if people want to get involved real quick with Orange Theory, where do they go?
All they have to do is give us a call at the studio, set up an appointment. If you heard about us from your guys' show, you guys will get a free workout your first time.
Fabulous.
That's exciting.
Awesome. Just let us know.
All right, well, it's been great talking with you and getting all these great tips for fall and the holiday season. Thanks for joining us, Adrian. Adrian, once again, is from Orange Theory, and if you mentioned that you saw him on Girl Talk, you get for a free first class.
Exactly.
So great
Sounds like a win
opportunity for you to
everybody.
give them a try this fall. And we will all be right back with more Girl Talk. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. This is the segment you've been waiting for, and in perfect time for the winter weather, we have Joe Conant, who joins us from Conant Automotive. And thank you so much for joining us, Joe.
No problem at all.
We appreciate it, and we're very much looking forward to some very important information about regular tires versus snow tires. So we're going to jump into it in just a second. First, I think Janet has a confession to make.
Well, you'll be happy to hear it, Joe. You were right. A couple months ago, Joe told us to get a new battery, especially before winter, because you're going to get stranded.
Oh no.
It happened.
And I see where this is going.
Sure enough, Janet was running errands on a Saturday and gets back in the car and it won't go. And
Click, click.
click, click, exactly, the dreaded click, click. And it turned out it was a couple bad cells in my battery. Dad came, thanks Dad, to give me a jump start, but I did have to go get a new battery. So I'm feeling ready for winter. I have a new battery, I have new tires, I even got new windshield wipers.
Well, good.
So I'm set.
You're
So we're
set.
taking Joe's advice, which is good. And I'm glad you've got some new advice for us. So talk to us a little bit about the snow tires.
Well, the biggest difference on a snow tire versus a regular conventional tire, and I'll try to get this up here. This is a snow tire, and the biggest thing you can tell the difference between this and a regular conventional all-season radial is these things here. If you can see it on the TV, these are called sipes, and that's what actually grips the road as you're going, through snow, ice, whatever, rain. And if you can tell on this tire, there's basically none. This is a very, rated tire as far as traction, but this will actually get you going on ice, snow, everything. I mean, it's if you've ever driven on these on ice, you'd never not buy a set. I mean, it's a very common thing now.
You
So
can
it's
almost
these
feel
little.
the difference, can't you?
And you-
Oh
Driving
yes,
and stuff?
I don't
yep.
have these on my car, so
The fact that it has
this
a
is
grip.
interesting. So these are almost like little rubber hairs.
Right,
almost.
and not this. This is just the molding process, but the slats or the
Oh, that's what we're looking at. I don't know. That's the big difference
no,
I see.
that's why I brought them so you guys
Yeah.
could really tell the difference. That there is what actually grips the road and
those little
grips the
slices.
ice.
So it's
yeah,
okay.
and it's just like suction cups going
This is
down the
why I
road. And will
need Joe.
actually
I don't
grab.
know.
It'll
That's why
actually
we
grab
all need
onto the
Joe.
ice. Versus this tire, which is like I say, a fine all-season radial, and this will get the job done for 99% of your driving. But when it's icy or snow-covered roads, this is the tire you need. It's not an uncommon thing now for people to buy a set and put them on in the fall and then take them off in the spring.
That's what I was going to ask. So, what if you leave these on all year? I mean, are they as effective in the summer, or do you want
No,
to switch them?
it'll work in the summer, but when this tire reaches 50% of its life, it turns into this tire. So it'll be a safe tire, but it'll no longer be an ice and snow tire.
I see. So,
So
they
it's-
switch more to save the tire for winter.
Right, and it's getting to be more and more common where people are doing this, and we offer a service where, as long as we sell them the tires, we'll take them off. Take off the snow tires in the spring, store them until
You'll store
winter.
them, too?
Yes.
Wow.
That's really
great.
nice of you.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a big hassle lugging 4 tires back home,
Yes.
keeping them in the garage that nobody has any room in anyways.
It is, but
And
that's a really
put them
nice
back on in the
service.
fall, and that way that tire will last probably 3 or possibly 4 seasons.
Are there different levels of snow tires? Are some better than others, or brands, or grips, or?
I'm very simple that way. Yeah, there is not very good ones out there, but as long as you keep with a name brand.
Okay.
Blizzak is, everybody associates Blizzak with snow tires, and yeah, they're a top performer. But this one, which is a Cooper, is just as good as a Blizzak. You don't need to spend crazy money on snow tires.
Okay. So now, talk to me a little bit about the price difference between snow tires and regular tires. Is there a big difference?
They're relatively the same.
Okay.
They're relatively the same.
So why not do it?
Yeah. I mean, because you're taking off your regular tires in the winter, so you're saving them. I mean, you're buying 2 sets of tires is going to last you. I mean, you understand where I'm going with this? I mean,
absolutely.
Money-wise, it's the same.
In the long haul, yeah, overall, it's the same amount of money, and you're saving yourself potentially an accident or getting stuck or flipping your car or something.
No names.
Yeah, right. No, sorry.
Like I said on a previous episode, as far as that tire there will give you the false sense of security.
Yeah.
So don't think that you're going to be able to go through everything. That tire will get you stopped and started. The biggest thing, once you get rolling, you still have to stop.
Yeah.
And that's where that tire will help you.
They give you a little bit better grip. Is it a little softer type of, or is it just seem softer because of all those little cuts?
The compounds can be softer in this tire versus this tire, but the main thing is the cuts, you call it, or the sipes is what the term actually is. That's what gets you the traction.
Okay. So along the same, winterizing lines, so we know we need to get our winter tires, and you'll even store them for us. And we touched on this a little bit, but I want to bring it up again because now the snow is finally actually here. Well, not finally, but it's here. So give us some pointers, going into winter. If we haven't winterized our car yet, what are some major things that we need to do?
Well, the biggest thing, like she said, the battery.
Yeah.
That'll get you started.
Pun intended.
Pun intended.
Take it into a service shop or a service center, a dealer, anything. Have them check the antifreeze. Have them check all the fluids. That's the key to everything. The antifreeze and the fluids and the battery, and you will start all the time.
Okay. Antifreeze. Battery. I should have brought a notepad. I know. I'll watch it back.
If you need a new battery or not? I mean,
well, the service center should tell you.
Okay.
And age also. A lot of times we see batteries that are 5, 6, 7 years old, and to me that's a little bit too old.
Pushing it.
I go with roughly 3 years on my personal batteries, even though it's a 72-month battery, which equates out to 5, 6 years, because it's cheaper to put in a battery during the day when I'm ready for it versus a Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, when you're
when
stuck
you're not
somewhere in the
Right.
middle.
Batteries are inexpensive.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say
I know
cheap,
you
they're
mentioned that
inexpensive. I mean,
before.
what, $150? That is a lot of money, but
Comparatively,
hassle down the road.
you don't have to mess around on a weekend to, I need a new battery and stop doing one thing and do that.
Dad.
So.
Or call Joe. And the big takeaway that we always get from you is preventative maintenance is just so much less expensive than finding a problem and then fixing it. So whether it be battery or whether it be, saving yourself with some snow tires, this is the guy to go see, Joe Conan over at Conan Automotive. Thank you so much for joining us and always giving us great tips and pointers. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks to our guests, and please join us next time here on Girl Talk.